Next, I'd like to hear from Kristina Marshall, who will be working as MC for the second segment of this event. Kristina is the coordinator for the Words and Words poetry group here in town, which normally meets at Cité des Arts. She is, I've said that already, but that's all right. You wanted to hear it again. She is known to her friends as Jay-Z for the fact that she will sit while other people are having fun and quietly compose verse in her head. So we can't watch that tonight, unfortunately, but we can hear the fruits of that. Kristina Marshall.
Hi, good evening. My name is Kristina Marshall, and I started doing poetry pretty much as soon as I could talk and write. And I started reading at 3, so I've been kind of putting words together for a very, very, very long time. The style of poetry that you're going to hear from me is spoken word or slam. It's musical in its nature, but it's conversational in its nature. It's not very much set verses. It's as if you were talking to someone. So the first poem I'm going to do is called Autobiography. Allow me to introduce myself to you. I am an amateur philosopher and a professional vixen, weaving webs of fairy tales for those that will listen. Now, perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself because, after all, you don't know me from Eve. Allow me to introduce myself to you. I am from where right is wrong and wrong is right. I am from Negro spirituals being sung as sharecroppers till their soil. I am from, bitch, you talk like a white girl. I am from a time and space where there is no time and space. Fourth dimension, over the moon, through the stars, and all them rings on Saturn mean that God really must have liked it. And if you find that joke corny, well, that's okay, because sometimes my humor falls a little short. And this wine that I'm drinking has me thinking things that I won't even remember in the morning. But behind my armor of drunk chatter and a pretty smile, I am truly a Catwoman at heart. Because I like the color black, I land on my feet, shiny objects amuse me, and if I could lick myself, I would, because it would save me a whole lot of unnecessary bullshit. That's right. Untamable by nature and defiant by design, I see well at night, and yes, I have left claw marks on a few backs. But truthfully, being a Catwoman means that I will follow my own desires. So if I want to roar, I'll roar. I'll sing songs about Jesus and songs about sinning, drink beer in the daytime, eat an entire pie, and then turn around and do a workout tape, because I am a one-woman revolution. And as my own personal PR manager and director, I can assure you that I will not stop until this revolution is televised. A revolution of brown skin and thick thighs, of hard work during hard times, of making love during rainstorms and walking barefoot in your own backyard, keeping a flask in your garter belt and crying less frequently. But at the end of the day, I'm just a dreamer who was awake at 1:58 a.m. that allowed my pen to speak for me. Thank you. Thank you. This last one, well, do I have time to do 2 more real quick? 1? Cool, that's no problem. Okay, I'll do this one. This is the one I want to do more. This poem is, this poem came about with the expectations that sometimes we put on people that come into our lives, that we may have feelings for or things like that, and everyone in this room has had their heart broken. And it was just an experience of, you know, feeling a certain way, and when you really feel something for someone, sometimes they'll do things that, you know, excuse me, bother you. And it's amazing what a phone call can mean to someone when you thought you were special to them. So urban terminology, we call that hitting us back. So, like, I want to preface that. Like, I don't people like, well, why did he want her to hit her? So, you know, I just want to, you know, yeah. So this one doesn't really have a title, and I may not need the mic, so I'll back off. You should have hit me back, because I had big plans for you. I had stiletto-clad, one-handed back bends for you. You should have hit me back, because I can sing and I can act, qualities that if I were a man would mean bitches would throw themselves at me constantly. And I think you should ask somebody, because I'm one of those send them home smiling and hand-clapping chicks, because, not to brag, my voice ain't the only place where the platinum is. And I don't care if you judge me or try to look at me small. I'll admit, I mentally wrote this poem as I touched myself waiting for your call. See, no pen was needed because my heart bled the ink onto the canvas of my pride. There was no need for pencil and no need for paper. Are you my ruination or my undercover savior? Let me sit on your face and you can eat your way to my soul, but I'm not just gonna hand it over to you. And as climax approaches, I'm reminded of how you say that I'm like a roller coaster. Well, baby, if that's true, I will gladly throw up 6 flags of surrender, acting like I don't want you because I'm such a great pretender. And my mama says that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but I'm a barracuda, so only a shark can handle me. And most of these cats nowadays are not nautical. How could you scour the whole newspaper but overlook the best article? You know, the one written by God's hands and molded the sands of the finest African particles, because I'm one of the rarest pearls. Why would you waste your time with barnacles? Because her pussy isn't deep enough to recreate you, but my words are. And the world is ours if we join hands and join minds. We'll conquer galaxies when we touch lips and join thighs, overthrow authority and take status quo on a joyride. But we'd say no thanks to robbing banks, but we well out to the fullest. A new city every day, busting nuts, not bullets, and life's dealt me this hand, so there's no way that I'm folding. I took out my shears, and now it's clear that you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. And what pretty teeth you have, the better to overpower me. Tell me to put my heels on, seduce me, then devour me. And I'm not trying to get hood, but I'm a little red in the face. After you kiss her, you should ask her how my poetry tastes. And I'll huff and I'll puff as you blow my walls down, but you won't fuck your way to my heart. Yet, here I stand, immortalizing you in verse when you clearly don't deserve it. But this is my way of chopping down the apple tree that was planted by the serpent. And this ain't no game of raising Cain. I'm able to admit that I'm not perfect. I just don't understand why you didn't feel I was worth it. So don't resubmit your application because I'm no longer hiring. Just take this poem as your pink slip and my words did all the firing. This coaster's pulling to the station. We reached the end of the track. At the end of the day, I'm glad that you never hit me back. Thank you.